Hi, I'm Miley Molay, and in this presentation I'm going to explain my final plan for Indigenous employment at Seneca. After looking at the feedbacks, I focus on making a real plan for Seneca instead of giving general ideas. My plan has three main parts. Bring more Indigenous Canadians to Seneca, make hiring faster, and help Indigenous employment stay and grow at Seneca. So the first question is about how can Seneca attract more Indigenous candidates? My first idea is to make Seneca easier to contact and understand as an employer. So I would create one Indigenous talent contact in people and culture. This person could answer the question before someone applies and explain the job, the hiring steps, the support Seneca offers. I would also create an Indigenous employment page on Seneca's website. It could show the open jobs, hiring steps, support, employee stories, and contact information. Seneca could also work more with the first people at Seneca, Indigenous student group, alumni and friendship centers, and Indigenous employment organizations. Another part of my plan is to create around 8 to 10 paid internship or entry-level job in areas like finance, IT, student services, and administration. For example, an indigenous business student could see a finance job, talk to the talent contact, join a short interview / preparation session, and then apply through the Seneca's regular hiring system. This does not mean like giving the job to someone easier than the other people or like giving the job automatically. This simply just makes the opportunity easier to find and the hiring process easier to understand for the employment. Finally, the third question. How can Seneca retain and engage Indigenous employees? Hiring someone is just the first step. Seneca also need to make sure employees feel welcome and supported. I would use a simple 90 days plan. On the first day, the employee would meet their HR contact and learn about the first peoples at Seneca. After 30 days, the manager would check how the job's going and if the employee understands their role. After 60 days, the manager would ask if they feel comfortable and supported at work. After 90 days, they would talk about career goals and what support the employee may need. I would also create a mandatory cycle where Indigenous employees can meet with managers and managers and talk about their work and career goals. Cultural events and lunch and learn are important, but they're not enough by themselves. Employees also need support from managers, trainers, and chances to grow in their career. And so my main idea is simple. Seneca should help Indigenous employees feel welcome, supported, and able to grow in their career. HR STAR and alignment. Finally, I use the HR STAR model to connect the whole plan. The strategy is to turn reconciliation into a real employment result. The structure includes people and culture, first people at Seneca, Indigenous advisors, and hiring managers. The process connect recruitment, hiring, onboarding, monitoring, and career growth. The people part include training managers and interviewers. The rewards parts include recognizing managers and mentors who helps Indigenous employees grow. The plan is horizontal aligned because each steps connect to the next. Recruitment connects to the selection connects to the onboarding, and onboarding connects to the retention and career growth. It's also vertical aligned because it supports Seneca's strategy plan and reconciliation and inclusion goals. Seneca should also track things like how many Indigenous candidates apply, how many candidates leave the hiring process, and how many jobs offers are accepted. 90 days feedbacks, 1 year retention, and promotion. This helps Seneca see what is working and what needs to be improved and changed. Overall, my goal is not only to hire more Indigenous employees. My goal is to create a clear path where people can apply, succeed, feel supported, and grow at Seneca. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.